Hello and welcome to Adfar Tech Venture Podcast. I am Janvi Agrawal, your host, and today I'm excited to have Colin Fitzpatrick, Chief Development Officer at GriffinAI, with over 20 years of experience with tech giants like Oracle, Dell, Salesforce, and HubSpot. Now, Colin leads GriffinAI and revolutionizing Web3, dabs with intelligent AI agents. Join us as we explore Griffin AI and know more about its transformation and how it's going to transform the world of tech with it. So, Colin, I would just like you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. My name is Colin Fitzpatrick. I am Irish from Dublin, but I live in Dubai. And as you said, I've been a long time working for a lot of the big tech companies. Always really been into tech. Also been into blockchain, crypto, and Bitcoin for a really long time, and started a project in that a few years ago, just at the height of the metaverse and NFT rage, where we were doing concerts in the metaverse. We worked with people like Snoop Dogg, Alicia Keys, Robin Thicke, and many more. And then I got into AI. Essentially, when ChatGPT came out, I thought this is the most revolutionary thing I've ever seen in my life, and I really want to be part of it. Consulted with a few AI startups for a little while, but now I'm really happy to be with GriffinAI, who are bringing AI agents into Web3 and onto the blockchain. And we have some really cool stuff coming up. So excited for the chat. Thanks for having me.
Okay, that's great. So, you have been in the journey from the start.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been really into the technology and a bit of a nerd about all things. I'm quite a big LinkedIn contributor. I've got about 15,000 followers, and almost every day I post something about AI, which I really enjoy engaging into the community of LinkedIn and just trying to help and educate people as to where it's going. Myself and my colleagues laugh that, the way we see what's happening with AI and the incredible rate of improvement over the next little while. Most people out there have really no idea whatsoever, and it's going to change the world so much over the next 5 or so years that it's almost akin to knowing that aliens are about to land and no one else really realizes it because, things are really going to change that much, but definitely for the good.
Okay, and even I strongly believe that AI is totally gonna get revolutionized, and maybe aliens are gonna land soon on the earth as well. Okay, so before we officially start the podcast, as you know, this podcast is brought to you by Adfar Tech. So I would even like to introduce Adfar Tech. Okay, so Adfar Tech is basically a pioneer technology solution provider dedicated to innovation and efficiency. At Adfar Tech, we are an IT platform with the focus main on IT solution, IT resources, recruitment, and tech audio podcast with partnership over 50 plus tech giants like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, Pega, OutSystems, APN, Salesforce, Cloud Area, Informatica, and many more. We specialize in services like ERP, app development, AI and MLA blockchain, cloud managed services, UX, UI, testing, and cybersecurity. We have a huge team of over 20,000 plus experts in various fields who can work either on site or offshore and can be deployed within 24 hours. We are big from hearing from tech leaders, and so we have you here, Colin, today. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks.
So, Colin, you have given me the brief about your background as well. I just want to know, how did you get into Web3 and AI?
I think I discovered Bitcoin back in around 2015. At first when it was about $100, and unfortunately I didn't buy any. I wanted to, and someone scared me off it, which is very unfortunate. When I first, understood Bitcoin, it just made sense to me. And still today, an awful lot of people really don't get it, but it absolutely made sense, and I'm a very, very big proponent of it. AI is something that's obviously been around a very long time, but it shot to prominence obviously with the release of ChatGPT about 18 months ago. I had been keeping an eye on it a little bit, but I had no idea what was going to happen. Very, very few people did. But since it did, as I said, I immediately knew exactly where this was going to go and how fast. And it's been happening probably even faster than I can imagine. Just even some of the announcements this week from Google and OpenAI have been, more than a lot of people in the community could even realize. And so, with my background in crypto and Web3, And then being able to combine these two things is very exciting to me because I think there was a lot of Web3 projects that tried to bolt on AI, new shiny thing. But what we're doing in Griffin is very much from the ground up, solving some of the problems of AI by bringing it onto the blockchain and making it decentralized and trustworthy. So, that's kind of excited to do.
Okay, that's nice. So it was from back in 2015 that you're interviewed into it.
Yeah, 2015 is when I kind of understood, found out what Bitcoin was. Mainly it was more like 2016, 2017 when I delved deeper into Bitcoin and tried to really understand the blockchain and the problems it's going to solve. And then started investing in some, coins and ICOs in the craze of 2017, and have been, fairly close to it ever since.
Okay. So what was the main reason for starting GriffinAI?
So my founders actually operate a regulated digital assets exchange in Switzerland called Smart Valor, and they saw the coming wave of AI as well. Ultimately, what they wanted to do was start building AI agents, which we knew are going to be, the next big wave in technology. And they wanted to do that for their own platform, but they realized that actually to make AI agents work on chain is quite difficult. The infrastructure is not there. They operate in a different way. And the way blockchain and dApps work was really just not compatible. So to make them compatible, what was needed is to build the underlying infrastructure. So everything that would be needed to make an agent work on chain is what they built. So they built an entire node network and an AI agent framework and the transaction framework as well, which allows the agents to be able to have their own wallet and to transact. But then the question is that when you have agents everywhere and they're all talking to each other and doing things, you need to be able to trust them. And how do we trust them? And especially when current agents are all centralized and, owned by Microsoft, OpenAI, and a couple of other companies. Well, isn't it better to make it decentralized, but give them a reputation and rating system via a digital identity on the blockchain? So then we can be very, very sure exactly which ones we can trust. And that's what we're building.
Okay. So can you just let me know what are just these AI agents and how do they work?
So agents are pieces of software, intelligent pieces of software that can go about and complete tasks on their own. But not just one task, they can complete multi-step tasks and what I would call goal-oriented tasks. You give them a goal and they figure out what steps are needed to do that. They list them out and then they go and complete those tasks. They can reason, they can problem solve, and they can work together to complete that goal autonomously. So that is really what agents are. So some simple examples, Google had I/O just the other day and they released some of their agents. And it could be that, you've got a huge amounts of different data spread across multiple emails in your Gmail. Well, now you can ask an agent and what it'll do is it'll go find all of that disparate data and it'll fill it out in a spreadsheet, saving you potentially hours worth of work. Or the other thing it could do is try and research and book a holiday for you. So you can give it a range and a place and some dates and what you want to do. And it'll go off and try and find the best options for your budget. And when you're happy with the options it's given you, you can pick one and it'll book it for you. I mean, those sort of things are pretty incredible because it's so much time wasting that we do now. So that's really only scratching the surface, and they're going to be able to do some really incredible things over the next year or so.
Okay, Colin. So there are many things, right? There are many agents in the market. What is the main problem that Griffin is setting out to solve?
Well, at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're building a platform to enable anyone to build and host AI agents on our network. But we are starting off to build a few of them ourselves to show what's possible. And what we're trying to do initially is to tackle the complexities of crypto and specifically DeFi. Now, anyone who knows who's tried to get into crypto, it is quite confusing, and especially DeFi. When you're buying on decentralized exchanges and you're trying to buy different coins or swap them, it can be very, very complex and the learning curve is extremely high. That's a massive barrier to the adoption of crypto and DeFi, across the planet. So we're aiming to simplify that. So we are we've got one agent already completed and another one to be announced very, very soon. And what we're giving people is, imagine if you were a large institution, you would provide a client with a research analyst, a transaction execution manager, and a risk analyst. And we're building the three of those for anyone else to use. So our research analyst, Elan, is live right now, and it will do crypto research for you. So it summarizes the news from about 150 different sources, and it will have a ChatGPT interface. So you can ask it questions like, hey, why did Bitcoin dump the other day? Or what happened with Solana, or anything you want. You can go, hey, I really want to invest in some DeepIn or AI coins. Can you go and do some research for me and find ones with low cap and high potential? And it'll do that. But to me, what's even more exciting is the transaction execution engine, which plugs into your wallet and is like ChatGPT for your wallet. You can ask it questions, but you can ask it to make execution trades. So you can say, okay, take half of my USDT and convert it into Ethereum. And then you can go, I want to stake that Ethereum. Where is the best place to do that? It'll present you with some options and it'll go and stake or unstake it for you. So bringing this next level interface to DeFi is to me a really exciting journey, and that's what we're setting out to do.
Okay, so basically you just want to simplify the AI agents and make one platform for all.
Yeah,
That's what I understood. That's it, right?
correct.
Okay, so what are the who are the primary users of GriffinAI and what AI agents can develop?
So there's 4 or 5 main areas. There's the large language model providers themselves, because we can provide them in a decentralized environment. There are agent developers, which would be technical teams who actually build software and build agents, and they can build whatever agents they want and make them operate on-chain autonomously with reputation, identity, and the ability to transact. Then there are what we call agent creators. So that's ordinary people like you and me who can take an agent or try and build one with no code, or take an existing agent and change it around. So making it very, very simple to do whatever you want with an agent. Ultimately, then it becomes very simple to seamlessly integrate these with any Web3 dApp. So it could be a wallet, it could be an exchange, it could be an NFT marketplace, any dApp. And once we allow that, they can radically improve user experience and grow users by using our AI agents. And then the users themselves can use AI agents to do pretty much anything you can imagine.
Okay, so you just want to basically simplify so it becomes a part of a day-to-day life.
Ultimately, like the examples I gave earlier, agents are just going to be able to do some of the things that we do, the boring, repetitive grunt work that we're filling in spreadsheets or doing research or updating things and using applications. Much of that is going to be automated over the next little while as agents get more and more capable.
Okay, we have talked about crypto and DeFi a lot,
Yeah.
and you have been very intrigued to it. So how is this gonna help to boost it?
Well, right now, most of the people in DeFi are, I suppose, what we would refer to as hardcore degens. You know, they are people who are very, very deep in the field and are extremely used to and experienced with using DeFi platforms and swapping and decentralized exchanges. But for your average person, that's really, really way too complicated, and it takes weeks and months of sort of learning and study. What we can do is bring the same abilities as that to someone via a chatbot interface where the agents do all the work. So it's really a win-win, and that can massively help with adoption and driving more people into the ecosystem.
Okay, so it's basically related to adaptation.
Yeah. What I would say is we're only just seeing the first iterations of a couple of agents right now, but it's going to rapidly accelerate. We're seeing where it's going. We can tell the sort of intelligent and autonomous agents that are going to be able to complete tasks without us really bothering. The way I like to explain it is it's just like having a really smart personal assistant. I have a virtual assistant, someone who is, very far away from me, but very, very smart and experienced. And I just send them a voice message on WhatsApp and I tell them what I want done. And a few hours later, I get the work delivered to me. It'll be like that with AI agents. That's essentially the way it's going.
Okay, got you. So, what are some biggest challenges that need to be overcome for AI to work well in fee and crypto?
So, what I would say is that the main challenges are what we've set out to solve, and that is building the entire underlying node network platform and infrastructure to be able to build agents that work smoothly on chain and integrate into decentralized applications. That's what we've done. Once we're live with that in a couple of months, we're going to open up the entire ecosystem to developers who can come in and build any agent they want. So it'll save them a huge amount of time and hassle because we've done all the work for them. They can just work on the automation and building in what the agent is going to do off the back of any large language model of your choice. So we have all of the major ones such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, Mixtral, all those sort of things. And the interesting one is that Grok is from Twitter, so that's plugged into the Twitter firehose. So if you want to create an agent that has all of the latest news based on a sentiment analysis and what everyone is saying across the world on Twitter, then you can do that very easily. And that is a bit of a game changer because it's really not possible right now.
Okay, so basically time management and automation.
Yeah, that's really what's happening very, very soon is you're going to see this all over the place.
Okay, thank you, Colin, for letting me know about these things. Like it can be used for crypto and DeFi. And I just thought we can, like there are many children out there who use it for the purpose of their assignments.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think education is going to have to change because we're in a situation right now where if you think about 50 years ago, if you wanted to know something, you could ask your friends, or maybe you could go to the library and read some books. But if you didn't get the answer then, and you couldn't get it in your wider circle, then that was it. Then came the internet, and all of a sudden we're able to search and we're able to access vast amounts of data, but you still have to do it yourself. Now we're in this situation where you just ask this magic box and it gives you the answer. And that's quite incredible. So education will change. There are certain things we will always have to know. But there are certain other things that, it's better to get AI to do the thinking. What I'm excited about is I have a 4-year-old son. And when I drop him to school in the morning, I turn on ChatGPT and the conversation mode. And we talk to ChatGPT. And he learns all about things he likes. He loves the planets and the solar system. That's what we were talking about this morning. He wants to know exactly how boats and airplanes work and things like that. And, having a child with a very inquisitive mind, being able to get any answer to anything they can imagine is an amazing thing for the mind, I believe.
Definitely it is. And they are more curious to know things and they are very impatient as well. They want to know the very instant how things are done.
Yeah, exactly. And that will change the way we are. I mean, yes, the kids can now use it for their homework, but I think homework is going to have to change now. Instead of just being given an essay to do and then just churning it out with ChatGPT, it'll be done differently. It'll be about using ChatGPT to learn and then proving what you've learned in class.
Definitely. So what do you think? What does the future hold for AI agent?
I think very, very soon, utilizing AI agents to do the tasks that you want in your daily job is going to become normal. I would encourage everyone to use them as much as possible because ultimately, the people who do use AI will get such an advantage over the people who don't that it'll be hard for the others to catch up. So we're just seeing the first few little iterations of them really now. And what we will see is personal assistants. So if you've seen any of the movies like, Her with Joaquin Phoenix, where he has this, agent in his ear who he talks to and becomes friends with and ultimately, has a relationship with, it might seem far-fetched, but it's going to help. But that aside, they will become our friends. They will do things for us. And it'll mean that instead of being stuck at a computer or stuck to a phone all of the time, you can just ask for what you want and then it'll be done. And I think that's really cool.
Okay, thank you for the valuable insights that you have given to us today, Colin. Your experience and expertise in AI were very intriguing, and I was very curious to know about how things are gonna work. And this wraps up our conversation for the day. Do you wanna thank the audience, or do you wanna have some closing statement?
Yeah, just thanks for the conversation. I hope you found it interesting. Please do search for me on LinkedIn, Colin Fitzpatrick, and the company is GriffinAI, which is griffinai.io. Please do check out the website and hit me up with any questions.
Okay. So, Colin, we were fortunate to have you here today and your contribution to the conversation as well. And thank you to the great, wonderful audience who are going to watch it and hear it. Okay. So, stay up to date with the latest trends by
Right.
subscribing to our podcast. Okay.
Thanks so much.